We're talking about one of my favorite topics tonight, real estate, and Gabriela Lira, a broker with Compass Real Estate here in the mid-state area, joining us tonight to be our expert on, or as Mike, our caller, said, Mrs. Real Estate. That's a nice title he gave you. Let's talk a little bit, Gabriela, about the luxury home market. What does that look like here in the mid-state?
So the luxury home market is just as hot, believe it or not, as the regular home market. We are seeing multiple offers as well. I listed a $1.8 million home a couple of weeks ago, and in one day we got 5 offers for it.
Oh my goodness.
It ended up being bid up almost $100,000 above asking price.
Wow.
So we are seeing the same dynamics, maybe not 30 offers for one home, but we're still getting multiple offers in the luxury home market. I remember 3 years ago, I would scour the MLS for $3 million listings, and maybe I'd get one every 2 to 3 months. And now we're getting multiple $3 million plus homes hitting the market a day. So luxury homes are definitely on the rise, and there is much more of a luxury home market in the Middle Tennessee area than we've ever seen before.
That's so interesting. And we've talked most of the show about homes, below 400,000 or below 500,000 at least. Now luxury home, I guess, over $1 million. What about that range in between them? What's happening in that market between 500,000 and 1 million?
It is, the entire market is hot. We are seeing the same things. I had a client who's bid on a $1.1 million house, and she also had to go $100,000 over asking to bid out multiple offers. And this was in Green Hills, which is a very popular neighborhood, affluent neighborhood in the Middle Tennessee area. And so every price range is competitive. No matter what you're purchasing, whether it's a $400,000 home, an $850,000, all the way up to multiple millions, it is just a hot competitive market out there.
You mentioned Green Hills as being very popular. That has been the case for a long time. What other areas of town are just hot right now?
Oh my gosh, the Nations is incredibly hot right now. It is hard to get a home in the Nations right now. We are seeing Wedgwood, Houston, which is another very popular spot. The Gulch View area, also known as south of the Gulch, that area is very popular right now. All of these areas that have been recently developed, and they have, the great coffee shops and good retail, fun restaurants. People are really gravitating towards that type of a community.
And what about when it comes to people who are wanting to move out a little bit? We did see that in the pandemic, people saying, I don't have to be right in the city anymore. I want some space. I want to do some social distancing when it comes to my real estate. Are we still seeing that?
Yes, we are still seeing that. So in order to get affordable acreage, you are having to go out some. I have clients going into Rutherford County, Sumner County, just to be able to get a little bit more land.
What is it fair to expect of your real estate agent in this day and age when things are so crazy? How do you set those realistic expectations?
So remember that when you are hiring a real estate agent, you are allowed to interview. So get recommendations from your friends and family. Also look online and pick your three favorite and interview them. So have a list of questions that you ask them. How long have you had your real estate license? How many homes do you sell a year? Because maybe they've had their real estate license 5 years, but they only sell 1 or 2 homes every year. So they're not as experienced as someone who is a full-time real estate agent and sells multiple homes every year. So the average person, buys or sells a home every 3 to 5 years. As a real estate agent, we do 50, 60 homes every year. So that is what you're looking for from an experienced agent. I'd say anything from 15 homes and up. Also, you want to know what their expertise is and how they communicate, because communication is so important, and getting you information, the right information in a timely manner in this market is absolutely critical. When you're a buyer and you're interviewing an agent, say, well, what strategies do you have to find me a home in such a hot market? We are selling more homes off market now than ever before. And so my team has strategies to find our buyers homes off market. If they tell us, hey, we really want to be in Charlotte Park, we go through an entire list of how to find a home for this buyer off market so that they don't have to compete with 30 other people for the same house. As a seller, if you're interviewing a listing agent, ask them, okay, well, what is your average days on market for homes that you list? What is your average price point? Because if you have a luxury home and you're interviewing an agent whose average price point is $300,000, well, maybe that's not the right agent for you because they don't have experience in the luxury home market. So ask a lot of questions. Make sure that you like this person because you're going to be talking to them frequently and spending a lot of time with them.
Before we go here, we have about a minute and a half left. When you are helping the seller to set a price for a home in this era where people are bidding over the asking price, how do you determine what that asking price should be?
So we look at market comparables. And these days, the markets are changing so rapidly. We used to go back a year when we looked at comps. Now we're only going back 6 months and sometimes even 3 months. Wow. If there are enough comps on the market, enough homes that have sold in that period of time to be able to give us a good indication of what the price per square foot should be for the home in question. And you look at everything. When you're looking at comps, you look at how updated was this home? Was it built in or around the same year? Does it have a pool? If your house has a pool, you look at similarities between the homes, and then you either add or remove some of what you're adding to the price per square foot of the home. And in today's market, we come up with market value and we say, we can be a little aggressive. Yeah. So maybe let's go up a little bit more and see what happens.
So very interesting. Gabriela, we know you've got other things to do tonight. You've got homes to sell and buyers to meet. So thank you for joining us tonight, and thank you for sharing your expertise.
Thank you so much. I had a great time. Can't wait to see you all again.
You bet. We'll do it again. Have a good night. When we come back, I will tell you what's on tap for the rest of the week. Stay with us.